Tucker Carlson just announced he could be getting arrested soon, and this situation should make us all terrified and afraid for our own sovereignty and freedom.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well,
that's absurd. And a lot of you guys don't even understand how absurd this is. Like, this is how it feels to live in Germany in 1942. This is exactly how it felt. This is not a right or left issue. I'm not celebrating because Tucker Carlson, karma is about to hit him. I'm not celebrating that. You know why? Because when it happened to Don Lemon, the right celebrated until they found out that this administration don't care about laws, regulations, constitution, or anything regarding our freedoms. They care about blind submission to their authority. And if you're not giving them blind submission to their authority, then guess what? They're going to come after you, right? They got a vendetta. There's something severely wrong when our president is making laws and being swayed by Twitter trolls. Like, didn't Trump get rid of TPS status for all Somalians because Nick Shirley exposed that some Somalians in Minnesota were committing fraud? It's absurd. So I say that to say, how do we expect for Tucker Carlson to get his just due when he's been on social media criticizing Pam Bondi, and we know these people are petty and vindictive? So now Pam Bondi is supposed to make a fair and objective decision on whether or not Tucker Carlson broke a law and to charge Tucker Carlson with a crime when she's on Twitter beefing with Tucker Carlson?
So too, actually. So let's just assess this logically. They're covering up, the DOJ, the current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes. Very serious crimes by their own description.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
So there are really only two potential explanations that I can think of. Maybe you've got another. The first is that Trump is involved, that, Trump is on the list, that they've got tape of Trump doing something awful. Year of their lives. And so naturally, most of them believe it. So when Charlie Kirk is shot in the throat with a 30-06 on camera, I doubt very many young Americans want to see something like that or actually applaud the death of a man, a father, a husband. But they've been told for their entire lives in schools exactly what Pam Bondi just told them. Well, there's free speech, but then there's also hate speech, and woe to those who engage in it because it's a crime. That's a lie.
So now Pam Bondi, who hates Tucker Carlson, is now tasked with deciding whether or not he should be charged and arrested. Like, come on, bro. These people have completely bastardized what it means to be in public office, man. I have no faith, right, that law and order is going to take place here at all. So Tucker Carlson is, he's talking about this, and he's breaking down how absurd all of this is, how he has done nothing wrong, how he's exercising his rights of an American, which is he can talk to anybody he wants to talk to, and he's not interfering with anything. So the problem here is Tucker Carlson was contacting people in Iran and discussing certain things with them before, I guess, the war kicked off.
Talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living.
I despise certain aspects of this administration, but not everything is their fault. Spying was not invented when Trump came into office. Didn't Obama lead a literal manhunt for Snowden, all across the world? So this has always been a thing. But certain things that we have accepted as the norm, we don't truly understand, how kind of crazy it is. That the government is listening to our phone calls and reading our text messages, but yet we are the freest country in the world. And they're spying on us, reading things that are supposed to be private to us, while at the same time they're able to read it and build a case on us based on what they see. That's absurd. That's crazy. That's nuts. But certain things we accept as the norm. Oh, make no mistake about it. They're for sure going to give Tucker Carlson his perp walk. 100%. That's what these people do. These people literally AI'd, right? Like one of like the Minnesota church protesters. They AI them crying on the perp wall. So like they could embarrass them some more. These people don't care about law and order, bro. They care about embarrassing you. So if arresting Tucker Carlson, having him in handcuffs, being walked down the aisle, if that's going to embarrass him, they're going to embarrass him. Now, is he going to get found guilty of this? I don't know. Probably not. Pam Bondi and her administration are like 0-5 with these public lynchings. Like, have they gotten a conviction on anybody? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. No, but this is sick. It's sick that people who are in charge of our freedoms, our law and order, are on social media using the weight of their power to go after people they form social media beef with.
And I'm not going to stop doing that, nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. I can talk to anybody. I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it'll even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to happen now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand, and it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA, or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel, and they have some latitude.
The CIA is a terrorist organization. Think about the horrible things the CIA have done. Outside of being accused of murdering like political figures like MLK, Malcolm, and others, think about it. MK Ultra, domestic surveillance. Ain't your job to be like gathering intel on foreign intelligence? Why are you spying on American citizens? This situation is just another example of CIA overreach. A lot of people think the CIA is needed. They're not needed. Not too many people understand what the CIA is. It's an independent government agency. The CIA did not exist before 1947. This country operated perfectly fine without the CIA. They are not needed.
And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021, when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way. And they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again 2 years later. My second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts, it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment, as of right now, is a huge threat to me. So I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true, and you should know what your own government is doing, and you should know what the stakes are. And you should know that a lot of what happens in this country that affects outcomes happens behind the scenes. Some of it is legal, some of it is not, including what I'm describing now. But it has an effect. And the intel agencies, again, not everyone in the intel agencies, because there are decent, hardworking Americans who work in the intel agencies are Americans, just like there are decent, hardworking Americans who work at the DMV. But there are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have, granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws, to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward. Thanks.
Most things regarding this administration, this is backfiring against them. People see through this. People see this is just another example to try to control the narrative, is propaganda wars. They're going after trying to arrest anybody who opposes war in Iran. They fear maybe Tucker Carlson is talking to people in Iran, in the government. So he has information and he's privy to information that could dispel and debunk all the lies this administration has told. Right? Like they come out and claim that they didn't bomb that elementary school, only for us to find out they did indeed bomb it. People are not dumb, man. People is catching on. Cenk, he commented and he says, if they started arresting media figures opposed to this war, our freedom has been gone, Cenk, 100%. Weren't like they just arrested American citizens from off the streets because they didn't believe they were American citizens because they had an accent? You had agents with an accent stopping people on their walk to Starbucks and demanding they show proof of citizenship, or else they got to go to this undisclosed location and they get kidnapped from off the streets. Our freedoms have already been gone. One person says no one would be able to object after that. Two, there are Israeli assets all over our government. Three, so now they're spying in on Americans on behalf of. This level of occupation is unbearable. Anna Kasparian says this is extremely disturbing. What we're seeing now, this is dangerous, by the way, and it's dangerous for the powers that be. When you have somebody like Anna Kasparian and Tucker Carlson agreeing on things and walking in lockstep, you start to really realize maybe MLK dream, and I'm not talking about the first dream, the second dream. Remember, MLK said, listen, we can't be divided by color or by political alliances. No, we should be divided by the people versus the man. And they got him out of there for that. Candace Owens says, if they come for Tucker, we ride at dawn. Really nothing else to say here. We're not doing the gulags 2.0. Now, there will always be idiots like Brent who says admitting that you were texting with Iran while you were lobbying the president in the White House against fighting Iran and expecting to be seen as the victim might be the new definition of insanity. And that bootlicker actually thinks he makes sense. That's what lobbying is. Are you sure we are banning? Like, are we sure we want to get rid of that? Because if that's the case, there's a lot of people. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is the first one to go, man. If lobbying is now all of a sudden illegal in a criminal action, then hey, hold on. Then certain people who have alliances and allegiance to certain countries lobbying and giving politicians the most money out of any lobby group ever, then shouldn't they also be arrested? Because talking to foreign countries and then lobbying on their behalf is illegal now, right? And I don't think Tucker Carlson was lobbying on behalf of Iran in the first place. I think Tucker Carlson was telling Trump what the majority of Americans agreed, which is we shouldn't be fighting these wars. It's not our business. It's not our problem. All right? Iran don't got a nuclear weapon. Cut it out. Stop the cap. Right? They've been telling us for over 30 years Iran is 2 weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. So Tucker Carlson telling Trump an opinion that resonates with the majority of Americans is getting him locked up. Man, all right, bro. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do y'all think about this, man? Do y'all believe that Tucker Carlson did anything wrong? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here to find out how Gunplay, right, the rapper Gunplay, find out how he tried to expose Rick Ross, but it backfired badly. I'm going to see you guys in this Gunplay video. And if you enjoy my content, then please click on the hype button below this video and send me a hype. Hypes are 100% free, but it's the best way to help me push my videos in the algorithm. I'm going to see you guys in this video right here. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.